So, Goku made a major bungle, or a margin bungle, but then he did make a major save. How is Vegeta going to get out of this one? Hey folks, MasakoX here. Now, in terms of this question, it is something that a lot of people genuinely wanted to see, but something that I was a little unsure of for the longest time of how to proceed. Then, as you may know, earlier this year, I managed to strike up a good idea, something we found on the round table, because you guys have some really good ideas for which to take the series further, and catapult it into the mayhem that is the Buu saga. For those new to this story, or have forgotten about it, then let's do a little initial reminder. This question concerns Vegeta, the prince. He had felt, ever since he was a young one, that he was destined for greatness, that he was going to be the legendary Super Saiyan of legend, for legendary reasons, only without the green hair. On Namek, which is green in the original series, he claimed he was just that, but then that claim turned out to be bunk, wishful thinking. But what if it wasn't? What if he went Super Saiyan first instead of Goku? Well, as you have seen over the course of this story, it was more than just him getting the power first. Vegeta, especially back then when we first saw him, was very quick to adapt to situations. If all that he had believed in turned out to be true, that he was the legend, he was the one destined for this mythical power, he would run this with the rest of his life and feel that he alone was blessed. His power would be different from everyone else. And yes, others did eventually get the Super Saiyan transformation in their own right, but his version would be the best. His was the most legendariest. He was the most deserving. It all made him utterly insufferable. He just would not shut up about it. And a lot of the Dragon team couldn't stomach him. And even in the original, he was quite irksome to the majority of them when he did get the Super Saiyan power a little later than here. And even as you know, Goku started to get nettled with all of this delusion of grandeur. But instead of simply going along with the gang, Vegeta, after all this time when Super Saiyan wasn't really that interesting anymore, kept on waxing lyrical, and this led to Goku being taken advantage of. In the last part, the way Goku was taken was by Babidi turning him into Majin Goku. I know, in a normal scenario, this kind of possession on Goku would be completely impossible. I have read the comments and people utterly rejecting this narrative for it, thinking it doesn't make any sense, but do hear me out here. After hearing for over a decade now in this story about how Vegeta was the only one deserving of this power and being constantly berated for his own transformation and being told that he was weak and that he was not worthy, it got to Goku's usual chirpy attitude. It would make anyone, any sane person, crazy. Ultimately though, there was something left of Goku's hopeful nature in there, and before he was tossed aside to the Potato Wizard's whim, and then of course he got a bad case of the explosions, he had done a Majin Vegeta and taken out Babidi, as well as actually injuring Buu in the process. Pretty badly as well, but it still wasn't enough to dispatch the genie, and so the pink blob set out for Vegeta. Vegeta was utterly bewildered at what he had just witnessed. Goku had given his life so that he might have a chance at winning, even though they had their disagreements, but it hadn't quite worked. He cursed Kakarot's weakness, but still, he remembered. He was going through utter pain and suffering right until the end, and he still wished to help. But on the other hand, at last, he knew better to get in his way, the legendary Super Saiyan's way. He didn't have much more time to pontificate about this turn of events because he was then met in the face by a massive yellow gloved fist. Buu had been hurt by the massive blast, which had been even more powerful than Vegeta's final explosion in the original, seeing as Goku was at Super Saiyan 3 and basically going all out. Buu looked a little ragged around the edges, but he was still strong enough to land a blow on Vegeta. However, the prince felt like here, he could hold his own. He wasn't on the back foot against this compromised creature. As this was going on, Gohan and Shin are watching completely devastated. Gohan had watched his father blow himself up in pain and in agony, whereas Shin had failed to do his duty and had let Majin Buu out into the world to do who knows what. Gohan simply collapses to the ground, lamenting his lateness, bursting into tears. Shin is on the spot, trying to process what to do next. I don't understand it. Why would Majin Buu toy with Vegeta like this? It doesn't make any sense. The monster I remember would just tear through him and blow up the planet the second he had the chance. There's something not right here. But in any case, he's a danger to us all, and Goku's no longer here to help. He turns to Gohan, but he is still reeling from what he had witnessed, really playing up to the whole vibe of the sagas being more grotesque than past arcs, eh? The rest of the Dragon team had been busy though. They sensed all of this go down from afar, and with the aid of Bulma, they rushed to collect the Dragon Balls even before Goku's full sacrifice. And when that happened, they tasted it, and Goten was completely blown away. He was inconsolable, and he had to be excused to go home to grieve with Chi-Chi. But then when they actually get there, they remember, thanks to Krillin, Dragon Balls. They had multiple wishes to work with here. Also, you don't have the whole stadium thing with Majin Vegeta just killing random citizens and stuff like that. There's less collateral damage here. The battle between Vegeta and Buu continues, with the latter still quite angry at Vegeta for hurting him like that for seemingly no reason. Why you mean to Buu? Buu done nothing to hurt you! Vegeta stops in his tracks. What kind of childish question was that? Was this the being that had seemingly caused such chaos and mayhem all those eons ago? This? It hardly looked the part of a major destroyer, nor did it speak like one. It acted like a spoiled brat. This got the attention of Shin as well. It got him thinking. Now that he thought about it, this was not the same Majin Buu of legend. It looked like he was trying to remember from all those millions of years ago. The form right before he was sealed away still. The same form that had come about when the Grand Supreme Kai had been absorbed by Buu. It made sense now. Gohan! He shakes Gohan's shoulder. The man had calmed down a little bit, sensing that his friends had scattered, presumably to find Dragon Balls bringing Goku back. Now a little more composed, he turns to Shin, the Supreme Kai beaming with his own thought, explaining that his predecessor had, prior to sealing Buu away, been consumed by this monster. It had changed its personality as a result to a very large degree, and explained for his more round and impish disposition. Maybe there's a way perhaps to, well, reason with Buu? Shin says in desperation. Gohan isn't all that convinced. I don't wish to sound critical, Supreme Kai, but how can you reason with something you said was pure evil? Shin seems even more convinced now with his own thoughts. That's the point, Gohan. He's not pure evil anymore. Or at least I hope he's not. Some part of my former master is in there somewhere, meaning that there is some good inside of him. I only hope that I'm right. With that, Shin gulps, trying to pluck up the courage, and flies up towards the battle. Gohan tries to stop him, but he is met with an icy stare from Shin. Yes, we are giving this guy some Dragon Balls for once, back when we thought he was cool. Gohan then lets Shin carry on. Meanwhile, Vegeta is getting all the more frustrated with this bizarre creature. But then he spots the purple Kai heading his way. He launches a somersault and then a double kick to Buu's stomach, sending him flying backwards and spinning around. But before Buu can launch back at the meanie, Shin hails Buu with a lot of nervous tension in his voice. Hello, Buu? Buu turns around and sees Shin. Who are you? You want to hurt Buu too? No, far from it. I just wanted to say hello? Oh! Buu turns around and looks at Shin properly. Hello, he says quietly. Shin feels like, good start, it might be working. He presses on, whereas Vegeta is over in the distance watching in disbelief. What kind of plan was this? Shin then asks Buu about where he thinks he is right now. He shrugs and he has no idea. That yellow wizard, do you remember him? Oh yeah, Buu does. He looked funny and was really shouty. He shouted a lot. Not nice to Buu. Buu nodded as if to reassert his thoughts. Right, Shin said, looking more as if he were talking to maybe, instead of a galactic villain that killed billions, a toddler. Starting to get a read that his supposition might be correct. It might have legs. He was really mean to you, wasn't he, Buu? Yeah, Buu nodded again, looking proud. Buu don't like people who are mean to him. Like that spiky man over there. Buu wanna hurt him bad. He points without even looking to Vegeta, which makes the prince curse under his breath. What? What is this fool doing? Who does he think he is? He's taking every fiber of his being not to just launch himself at Buu right now and be done with it. "It's okay. That mean imp is gone," says Shin. "My friend got rid of him for you, but I'm afraid he's gone too." Buu tilts his head like a curious pupper. "Oh, Boo sorry your friend gone, but Boo glad potato gone." He rests his hand on his hips and triumphantly laughs, looking happy. Gohan is watching all of this too down below and decides to actually help Shin. He then goes up as well. "Hello," he steels himself to say despite seeing Buu being a part of Goku's death, but remembering that it was Babidi actually that made Goku suffer, not this thing. "I'm Shin's friend, Gohan." "Hello, Gohan. What you want?" "Well, that friend that got rid of Babidi, we can bring him back for you if you want, so you can, play with him?" Gohan shrugs as if he's hoping that his part of the plan might work. "Play?" Buu mulls this over for a few seconds, and then beams. "Yeah, Buu wanna play! Can I play with the spiky man first?" He points again in Vegeta's vague direction. Gohan then waves his hands. No, you don't want to play with him. He's way too cranky. My dad, he's really fun to play with. He's even stronger than that guy too. Way stronger. If you can just give us a few hours, we can bring him back, so you can meet him. How does that sound?" Buu mulls this over again for a bit, and then nods. "Okay, Buu will wait, but I want to play with Spiky Man a bit." Gohan and Shin look to each other, and then Gohan flies over to Vegeta, telling him not to go too far with Buu.
"What? Are you crazy? No way will I be part of such a ridiculous plan! I don't need Kakarot to finish this thing off! I can do it myself!"
Gohan tells him to just spar with him for a little bit. Don't go too far, whilst the others gather the Dragon Balls and bring Goku back. They can then figure out a plan when he is back and recovered from his ordeal with Babidi. Vegeta curses and complies. For now. With Buu satisfied, he waits patiently for a little bit, before then taking his fancy with Vegeta. The Dragon Balls are successfully gathered by the gang, and Shenron is summoned. Their first wish is to bring back Goku, and then to fully recover his mind from what Babidi had done to him. As for the third wish, they try to wish for Buu to be sealed again, thinking they could do it, but the dragon informs them that that is beyond his power, seeing as he's basically the strongest magical thing in the universe, far more powerful than anything he can do. As they try to think of a proper third wish, the first wish activates, and the second. Goku is wished back to the same spot that he'd blown himself up, seeing Vegeta and Buu up above play fighting. With his mind now clear as well and healed from what Babidi had done to it right before he exploded, he gets his bearings before Gohan and Shin rush over to him. "Goku, you're okay!" Yeah, I think so. That was really scary earlier. Everything alright here? Why is Vegeta playing with that pink thing?" "Well, that's Majin Buu, Goku. Only not quite the same evil beast that I thought he would be. Part of my benevolent former master is in there, and for some reason it's making him more agreeable and infantile. If we play our cards right, we can keep him from destroying Earth, and maybe the entire universe. All we have to do is keep him happy." Goku nods, and has just the idea to do so. He flies up to Buu and hellos him. "Hey there, my name's Goku. Nice to meet you, Buu." Buu turns around and completely blanks Vegeta. "Are you a friend others say will come?" Goku nods and promises to play with Buu, which makes the genie very happy. He powers up to Super Saiyan 3, and this excites Buu and their fight begins. Buu is very much on the back foot though, but he doesn't seem to mind all that much since he's now fighting for fun. He's laughing like a maniac, which normally would make Goku nervous as to why, but given the context of the situation, he's quite frankly relieved that Buu isn't on the warpath. Meanwhile, Vegeta is watching all of this unfold, and he is getting angrier and angrier. This power seems to have gotten Super Saiyan 3 even more powerful than it was when he had fought Goku earlier. Not only did the Saiyan Power Zenkai boost help it, but now Goku was back in full control, showing what he could really do with his skills in this power. It made Vegeta feel absolutely inferior, and he hated that. He thought this power was a gimmick, and that he would outclass it with his own legendary power. But here he was, being shown up to be an accessory fighting a villain who is no more mature than a mewling whelp. Down on the ground, neither Gohan or Shin are paying attention to what Vegeta is doing, mostly sulking. They are hoping that Buu will get tired and accept the status quo, either promising not to do anything bad, or at least maybe leaving Earth alone for the time being. it was all actually looking pretty good, and the two of them looked thoroughly satisfied with themselves with their idea that they never thought would work. Well, it would work had Vegeta played ball throughout. In a fit of blind rage and indignation, Vegeta launched himself at Buu at full force and landed a heavy blow to his back, sending him screaming to the ground. And if you guys thinking that this is out of character that Vegeta wouldn't do something so stupid, Kid Buu? Vegeta! Correlation! Goku spots Vegeta and exclaims what he is trying to do. Vegeta had had enough.
How dare you show me up, Kakarot! I don't care that you're back to normal. You are forgetting your place. I am the Legendary Super Saiyan, not you!
Goku is dumbfounded with this prince's arrogance. Still, after all this time, even when things are going their way. Don't be stupid, Vegeta! Are you seriously still going on about that legend? Is that all your mind can come up with right now? We are this close to stopping Buu before he could hurt anyone! Are you willing to risk all of it for your outdated pride? This was the wrong thing to say. Vegeta is reeling from being told that his legend was stupid and pride was wrong to have right now. He powers up and growls at Goku before starting to fight him with everything that he's got. The two spar up above as Buu emerges from the rubble to see Goku, his brand new friend, being beaten up, pummeled by the same guy that had beaten him up. Thanks to the exertion of Super Saiyan 3, Goku is now on the back foot. He then sees his new friend being hurled into the ground looking badly hurt. He rushes over to Goku and is getting angry. He's getting the red mist. He then looks up to see Vegeta, that same spiky man causing trouble again. He is growling with rage. He thinks about maybe healing his friend, but before he can do so, he loses it. He goes completely mad, forming a mysterious cloud above himself. This Saiyan had angered him so much and hurt his friend so bad, all of these feelings happening at once, something strange was happening. Before anyone could process what was going on, the cloud started to form something. A creature similar to Buu, but only taller, greyer, more menacing looking. Evil Buu had arrived. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now. So what do you folks think? Does this sound about right that Vegeta would spoil things due to his own pride getting in the way? Is there still hope to stop Super Buu from showing up? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later!